What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Sword Art Online Alicization. Overall, this episode was really good. This was definitely a lot more of a setup, exposition type episode where Kira does more or less just more like, what the fuck is going on? What is this world? What is Alicization? How does this world work? And of course, setting up some stuff that we were going to see in later episodes. Overall, really dig it, but I would definitely say I've definitely seen, setup episodes like this done a lot better, like we saw in Hiroaka. I think in episode 10, I think it was after the muscular fight, Deko's arm got messed up. I think that was set up really done right. Where I was like, ooh, I can't wait to this is go. This, I'm like, okay, you got me, let's see where this goes. So anyway, let us begin. So, we start this off, where Kirito, he's waking up in Alicization, he's like, ugh, where the hell am I? He looks around, he's like, where am I? What are these clothes? And he's like, is this a virtual world? And then, of course, he does, the most VMR moves, the command where he swipes his hand down the menu. He doesn't, but it doesn't appear. And then, while just kind of, confused, wondering what the hell is going on, a butterfly lands up here. It's like, this is way too realistic to be a virtual world. And so, but then he's like, wait, that's it! And so he realized that this is indeed the Underworld, of course, created by us, I forget what the actual company name was called. The company's name was anyway. So if I remember, he was like, "Hey guys, you end the simulation early. There seems to be a problem. Hello? Anybody? Fuck." And so he kind of just starts walking around. He hears, he goes to this little lake area, grabs somewhere. He's like, it's really virtual. Of course, he sees his reflection actually in the water, and comments about the butterfly. He said it was too real. So I don't know what this thing is running off. I'm curious, what is this VR Alicization Matrix thing even running off of? Because granted, you'll see in the anime, it looks about as what you see in the real game, as all VR MMOs we've seen throughout SAO. But here's the comments about just how realistic this actually is, the butterfly, the water. What is this thing running off of? I want to know. Is this thing running off of 20 superhuman supercomputers or something? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if we ever get a reveal on whatever this Alicization thing is running on, more about Alicization or the Underworld as a whole. And so then he hears and then we hear someone hacking at wood. He's like, and then he kind of remembers something. We see these two kids, as we know. Of course, it's Alice and Yujo, which. Actually, apparently, in the first episode, there's a ton of Alice in Wonderland references. Of course, there's the obvious one about Alice actually dressing up like Alice in Wonderland, but apparently there's stuff about, through the Looking Glass and stuff. I don't know. I didn't see this because I've actually never seen. I've only seen the live-action Johnny Depp Disney live-action of Alice in Wonderland, the first one. I think also the original Disney one from the 50s, I think it was. I've only seen those two. I haven't seen through the Looking Glass sequel or any of that stuff. So, yeah. And so he's like, and then he's like, why do I feel so nostalgic, yet so frustrated. And after we have the OP, which, oh my god, the OP. I'm pretty sure I did talk about last week, but I just need to comment about it. The OP is so damn good in this show. I love that Lisa's back, and this is probably this is my favorite OP of all of them. Now that's saying something, because we've had some killer OPs in SA on the past, but this one is definitely my favorite. Lisa's back. It's fucking amazing. Anyway. So then he gets over to the next where the sound of sources, which of course is the tree. That of course we saw Yuzu hacking at last week, and we see the dude is still hacking at it to this day. Well, he isn't at the current moment. Kirito kind of goes over to the tree, and then he kind of sees it. Then he goes for a sword, but then he realizes he doesn't have a sword. I swear to God, this is probably so much muscle memory of SAO that he just naturally goes for a sword that isn't there because he's just so used to it from SAO. This is probably either muscle memory or the work of the bleeding effect. If this was Assassin's Creed. Anyway. And so you're just like, oh hey, who are you? Where are you from? And Kirito kind of backs away a little bit. He's like, hey, what's wrong? He's actually yo, what's name? He says his name is Kirito. He's like, Kirito. And Yujo also does not remember anything of what happened to Lad. He does, as he states on later on the episode, he does remember the whole stuff with Alice. He remembers it, but he doesn't remember Kirito being a part of it. So it's basically kind of wondering, is there some like 02 Hero Dolly the Franks kind of memory manipulation. And before y'all ask me, no, I haven't actually finished Dolly the Franks. I mean, personally, from what I see in the show, I love it, but I've heard it's gone like in like the last few episodes, it goes down so downhill. The last episode I did watch was, of course, when those two guys got ended up getting married, but then they ended up getting taken back to like the base, and then their memories were ended up being wiped. That episode was like late in the series. I'm definitely gonna finish up Jonathan Franks one day, but yeah, I wouldn't be so. It seems like maybe something like that could possibly be going on, but I doubt it's gonna be like up to that. So like the rest of like just mess around the memory. I feel like there's probably like something what they're doing with the different of the programming. With these two chess players, Kirito and whoever Yujo is, that they're probably like manipulating their memories to make sure, okay, let's make sure he forgets this, remember this, but forget this, probably something along those lines. And so he introduces himself as Yujo, and then they like end up sharing lunch, with it being like these old pieces of bread, and I'm like, and Kirito just eats it, and he's like, ugh. It's not that good because, as he tells us, these are actually just leftovers from the previous day, because he wakes up so early that he can't get the fresh stuff that would have if he went around like noontime or something. So he has to stick up with, excuse me. Oh Jesus! I actually just finished eating dinner, so yeah, that's why I'm sobbing between sentences a little bit. Anyway, like I was saying. So that's why he can only get the leftovers, and this is when we do find out that this truly is a virtual world, because he does the S thing on the bread to show off its durability, and they talk about actually how if it was summer this food wouldn't last as long. So I guess he doesn't remember the whole ice thing either with Kirito either. Anyway. And so, they end up eating the bread, and then they ask about, well, why don't you just go back a little bit later, like around noon or something. And then, of course, he does talk about, of course, Alice, and, of course, her being taken and everything. Yeah, that we saw. Unless he just, just tells Kirito the same story that we saw last week. And they says, I still think Alice is alive. She's probably somewhere out there. She's just, somewhere up in Central City. And he's like, oh, okay. And then Kirito's like, why don't you just head over to Central City and get her back? And he says, I would, but I can't because of my calling. Because if I ended up disobeying my orders, it's against the taboo index. It's a violation of that. So Kirito can't go. So that Yujo can't go there to save Alice. And plus, even if he did, it would take him a week to get there. Even if they had a few horses, so. It's a long journey no matter which way you slice it, so Yujo's kind of just stuck here, while Alice is doing God knows which, judging from how these two acts right now, Kirito and Yujo not remembering each other about their adventures that they had, it makes me wonder, has Alice also the same, memory manipulation, when they get to Central, because we know they're in Central, I mean, it's obviously OP that they do end up getting to Central City, does Kirito is she also affected by this? Is she also if they went back and Alice kind of showed up to check out I guess the training area, which I'm guessing that's where Kirito and Yujo are going to end up going, judging from the OP and the stuff that's in there. They might go some training, swordman's training, to see who's going to be the next knights to follow under that are going to be led by Alice or something, because we see her in kind of a saber-esque outfit, her being a soldier and everything. So that's gonna be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up throwing in some Fate references in there, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Anyway, so could show up saying she was out there and she met up with Kirito and Yujo. Would she remember them? Would she not? Would she just remember Yujo? Would she not remember Kirito? Definitely interesting questions, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Ricky Kawahara ends up doing with these. That's definitely going to be very interesting to see. And so back to the episode. So we find out that after Yujo explains his, retells the story about happened to Alice, Kirito asks how long was that? And he says, I was 11 during the summer, so that was about 6 years ago. So we know that 6 years have passed within this world of Alicization, Underworld, whatever you want to call it. 6 years have passed. 6 years have passed here. And so, and actually, when they first met, Kirito actually told me, hey man, I don't know where I'm at. I kind of have amnesia, like, I don't remember who I am, or I remember my name, but I don't know, where I was from or any of that stuff. Yada yada yada. And so then he asks him, tells him about this legend about a god that likes to, a demon that likes to play pranks on people by taking someone, having them bad for years, and then throwing them into the middle of the forest and just saying, "See ya," apparently for that. And so then after, and Kieran asks by the way, dude, what is your calling anyway that you keep talking about? And where he ends up of course tells we found last week, or we knew not last week, is that of course it is chopping down this demon tree as it's now been dubbed, because it's deriving all the nutrients or prayers so that they can't expand their wheat farm. And also, after Kirito tells him he can't remember anything, he tells him about how his village is only right over there, but since they don't get any visitors, they don't have an inn. But he does tell him he could probably probably sleep the night or sleep at the church for him. Which has led to this one interesting female character in the church. Which I'll talk about more when we get there. That I swear she looks like one of the characters from the video games, which she is. Nice, finally she's canon, I guess, in a way. Anyway, so then he tells of course, it's chopping down this tree, yada yada yada. And then Kirito tries to have it shut down. I'm sure, like me, all of us originally thought Kirito's gonna chop this whole tree down in one go. Because it's Kirito. Kirito, there's a reason it's been dubbed Jesus-kun. The man can do everything, like season 2. Like the whole mini game of being this robot gunslinger to get a bunch of coins. No, nobody could do it. Nobody was found. Then Kirito tried. After one try, bam, he won it just like that. So we were supposed to either create a massive dent in this tree, or B, just chop it all down one go. But first time, he failed. His hands hurt. Yes, I know. Shocking. Kirito actually failed at something. I know. This is mind-boggling to me. And I don't mean that. Okay, I kind of mean sarcasm, but at the same time, wait, Kirito actually didn't destroy his whole tree in one go? Kirito, the guy that defeated Guthdon Kirito, the guy that defeated Kaiba Kirito. My, reckon Kawahara, you will finally learn from the internet. It's about time. It's that made Kirito a little less OP. Which actually, another thing we also find about the Underworld world is that actually it usually blocks. Kirito still remembers everything that happened, the last night. Him talking to Sion, him walking home also, but he doesn't remember the whole stuff with the death with the laughing coffin guy or that whole last segment. And he says that they usually block out your real memories when you go into here. So, is this actually where he uses it, or did the laughing coffin guy take him to some secure area where he has a different version of it at his place or something? We don't know. Maybe we'll find out next week. Maybe we'll find out the week after that. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see for that. Anyway, so so then he tells man, you put too much into your shoulders and hips. Relax, relax. He's like, yeah, you're right. I have to take this into account. My actual avatars, by instead of my real one. So Kirito's SAO avatar kind of fuses inside of him. He's like, okay, then he tries it. Doesn't do much, but does it again. Then he ends up doing it 500 times. So that made Yujo had an easier day. He did 500. He did 500. But actually, Yujo usually does 2,000. Then Kirito's like, what? 2,000? I'm like, bro, how are you not buff as hell right now? How does Yujo not have muscles the size of Brock Lesnar or something? How does he not look like Brock Lesnar at this point after doing all that? Sure, the man has to gain some muscle from this, or maybe you just don't gain muscle in this world. You can't work out at the gym and then slowly but surely end up becoming like Brock Lesnar big or something. Where you got a shit ton of muscle that you can take fools to Suplex City from here to Timbuktu or whatever. Anyway, so they call it a day. They go over to the church, but actually right before we got the village asshole, he's like, oh, Yujo! Who the hell is he? He's like, oh, he's kidding. He doesn't remember. He's like, what? Not even your calling? It's probably something stupid like Yujo, chopping down that tree. And he's like, and then Kirito's kind of annoyed at this. Kirito's like, I don't like your tone. I don't like you dissing my friend. And then I like how the like he get like a shadow engulfs his face. He's like, you know what? I think I remember my calling. I was a swordsman. And he's like, you a swordsman with that scrawny body of yours? Please don't make me laugh. And then he hands him a sword, which I bet that the video would have like a little one-on-one duel, but like don't. He just like puts like this like a little like piece of wood on top of like this tree stuff, and he just, I guess, is supposed to chop it. So of course Kirito, being Kirito, does it all in one hit, in a and like the art animation here, greatness. The music actually for this week's episode was also really damn good as well. I love the music this week. So he chops, and the dude's obviously shocked at Kirito's awesomeness, because he is indeed Kirito. And so they head over to the church, where they end up where of course they had a meeting, and then we get like this little like nun girl in the back who I swear looks like Philia from the video game. Now we know that A-Boy has been suddenly dropping little Easter eggs towards the video games. Does this mean that they're canon? I don't know. I hope they do, but granted, they can't really work because the canon of the games is different than the anime, so they probably couldn't really make it complete canon, but I hope they just at least put some of the characters that were in the games into the anime when they're in the light novels, I guess, and shit, because she low-key looks like Philia. If you've seen Philia, she has like the similar hair color and I'm pretty sure she also has blue eyes. Her hairstyle is different. I think her face looks a little bit different too, but it's like, I was like, you look like Philia. I don't know if that's actually like Philia or not. It probably isn't, and it's probably just a coincidence. These characters kind of like look a little similar, but a man could dream that one day Philia will one day become part of the regular SCO canon, and one day get in the end. Because oh my god, I love Philia. If you guys are a fan of SAO and you guys haven't played the games, definitely check them out. They're actually really good. They're not like Persona 5 levels good or Final Fantasy 15 or 10 good in terms of JRPGs, but they're pretty good in their own rights. And I really like the story, and I like the new characters they had, like, Stria's also pretty good, but Philia, I love her. I love Philia. I went over that little tangent of mine about talking about Philia. So they get inside the church, and then she tells the lady rules, like, prayers are at 6 a.m., breakfast is at 7, I'll check up on you, but I won't wake you up, that's your own job, and if you don't wake up, and then you end up not waking up at stairs, you oversleeping, the head honcho, I forget her name, she's very scary when she's angry. Anyway, excuse me. And so kids are kind of like, just kind of like looks around this room, thinking about this world, what he's learned about. There's like, okay, there's no NPCs in this world, but there's no way they have enough of these devices to enclose all of them, all these test players into one room. He also talked about what about artificial births, if that's even possible here in this world, but he ends up he talked about, of course, wanting to make this journey to the central city, but of course you realize I ain't got no money for this, so we'll have to wait and see and just kind of play it out as we go along. Turns off the light, but he first tries like he did in SAO, but he's like, then he goes like this little knob at the bottom of it, twists it to turn off the light, and of course then goes to bed. Then we head over to Central City. We see this girl in like this little bed with these curtains over it, and we saw her in the OP as well. We just look at her while she's sleeping and she smiles. That is where the episode ends. So overall, this episode was really, really good. Pretty good. A lot of exposition, a lot of setup to future events. But I am definitely very intrigued on whatever the hell is going to happen throughout the rest of Alicization. So anyway, so overall I give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you feel like it. Links are just below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. She's